Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming in. Sorry I was late. There got a little bit sidetracked and so on. There was a very good suggestion, first of all, of having the people here to have more room to express yourself, to share things, your own experience, and so on. Which is completely good, completely okay with me as long as the chat is not blowing up. You guys know what I'm talking about when the chat goes way out of it. But today's credit goes towards CC. Actually, CC, thank you because you kind of like from one thing, it turns out to be something good. But that is what the power of transformations is. During the yesterday's conversations here in the chat was about the self retrograde, but this is leading to a self understanding of a self reset, hitting that main reset that it was. And I linked it into the retrograde astrology, to the retrograde process of astropsychology, and way that the energies are go on in there. Actually, I'm gonna go through this very quick. I have to dig it up because that's what the retrograde is. For those who was in Miami, they actually got it. I went out into the retrograde process way in depth. And when we're talking about the self retrograde healing, that is a when you go into this process of life, like for example, the retrograde planets, okay, the way they're going, I'm gonna go through this pretty quick. And you're going into a timeline of life, but at some point you hit this point right here of what we are calling this self retrograde. You doing your own reviews. At that reviews, you are reviewing this part right here of the timeline. You review that part of your life right here. There it is. And since you hit the reset, after you hit the reset, you're going direct back in and going into the next positions of being in a retrograde. The way this goes is that is a about you to looking at the lessons that it needs to be learned. And here is when you go through this process, you make mistakes, you fall down, you make the situations, you make the things go wrong. And then you decide that, okay, I cause my own towers, I cause my own situations. And then you do this self evaluation. This is self evaluations. That is what Cici was referring into the self retrograde. You actually go back within yourself and you're looking at deeply with everything that it goes on within you. That is the self awareness. That is the self deep evaluations. It is what I'm thinking. Is this is what I feel? Why do I react like this? What causing all this within me? Have I learned the lesson? What was the lesson was all about? And once you get into this deep process of these transformations of here, you're going, it's like having the aha moments within yourself, having this power of the aha moments, this power of like, I understand what happened here. I understand. I'm reviewing my lessons. I am doing all this within me. I have to let go of anger, obsessions, of everything that it's supposed to be. If the lesson, it is about to look at it, your aggravations, intense energies, or whatever that is. So you're looking at through this process. You getting at the fear of change. You getting a look at it with all this, whatever that period of time of your life is. So if you, for example, this is your first 20 years of your life, you maybe review the second portions of what you have, maybe the second 20 years of your life. However, in your case is, if you're 30, maybe this is age of 15. Forever, if you are whatever age it is, maybe this is your mid of life, or what the people call midlife crisis in there. So talking about this retrograde, this is a very powerful, because during this process, okay, if you look at it here, I did a video before fixing the timelines. If you can find it on YouTube, that is going to be, this is a, when you have this curve, and during this curve right here, okay, out on this curve, your timeline is going forward up here. So you coming back and you review. I have relationship with person A, with person B, person C, person D, into the very first time. And now you're reviewing those relationships. You did what you have, and now you're going back into your own timeline, which is basically, it's just a different point of a graph that you're going to be using it with in yourself. So by doing it, this retrograde process is very much powerful. What is the energies? What is your driven of doing this review? What are you doing this self retrograde? What are you doing this healing within the retrograde? Do you need a reset? And during those resets, I'm talking about it, is that those resets are needed, because you're coming to a point like, I don't want to go this route anymore. Been there, done that. I don't want to repeat the same mistakes. Been there, done that. I don't want to have the wrong people in my life. Been there, done that. And I don't want to have any more things that do not resonate with me. Now you're looking at within that reset within yourself, and the reason why you're doing the reset. Hey, Elizabeth, thank you for coming in. But before you actually going into the reset, there's going to be a that pitfall that you're going to go down. Most of you felt this within the, first of all, within your emotions, like the human being is a karmic. Second of all, within your empathic energies, within your energies around people and so on. And later on, you feeling this within the vibes, within the soul, what is there. They're a little bit different, they're more higher. Basically, they are the same thing, just on a different level of your expressions, because you are meeting this gravity out around you with from within you. And with that being said, Elizabeth, thank you for coming in. If you have any questions, guys, you might starting in there. But hey, Lorianne, thank you for coming in and looking at inside of you. This retrograde processes, they happen within the retrograde energies. We are going into the retrograde seasons right now with the bigger planets. Hey, Madonna, thank you for coming in. And you're gonna go down into this road to, if you pay attention, those retrogrades is when you are like shifting from material to a spiritual 100%. Grande, thank you for coming in. You look at it that, okay, I felt in the material life, maybe I haven't done something within the spirituality, and you're shifting from the material world, you going into that retrograde mode. And now when you go to that retrograde mode, it's like, I need to change something from within me. Maybe I need to do books. Maybe I need to educate myself on a certain things. Maybe I have to go and talk to someone. Maybe I need to go into a spirituality. Maybe I need to go to church. Maybe I need someone to talk to about this. Who can help me? Or you can be a self-educated, which is, that is the best case scenario. What I would say that, because that way, when you self-educating yourself, you actually check the informations. Does it resonate exactly within your own true self? Instead of when you go with somebody and they talk to you about this and that, and you're like, that's not it. You go to movie videos or someone, no, that's not it. Doesn't resonate in full with me. But when you do your own study, your own situations, this is the power of the self retrograde in there. You causing this self retrograde from within yourself. You to go do this self awareness inside of you. You to do the review. Don't forget about it that in astrology, the retrograde means one thing: rethink, reevaluate, redo, Those are all re, but this also means rebirth. And those rebirths, when you do it in yourself, those rebirths, they are coming with a lot more than anything from what you knew before. Because you have this aha moments when the light bulb comes in, here what I did wrong, there what I did wrong, and so on and so on. But after you get into this process, there's going to be at this moment of time, actually, of that retrograde process, when you go down in the lowest point. It's usually right in here. And when you go in there, you're going to be experiencing this tower moments. You're going to experiencing this low vibes. But out of that, you're going to be going all the way up again. You're going to be handling up. And of the moment when you go handling up, you begin to create a plans of actions of what are you going to do once you get in that. And from here, you're going up, go back, direct. You go back, you hit that button, the reset within yourself. And that reset button, it is actually set you up in the next stage. Talking about this, this is like if you guys know what the steps of success is. You go, you stay one place stable, you're going up, and then you go in again. Those are kind of like the needs that you need for revaluations of the areas and concerns you need to grow. CC, late for my own joke. Not really, actually. CC, thank you for coming here. And you see from a little joke that came in, actually turns out something very beautiful. You invented a new term, self retrograde. Actually, I think that the general public needs this. I think that keep doing those jokes, by the way. Keep them coming. Keep on getting them in there. I personally love that. But talking about all this process within the retrograde insight, within the energies from the astrology and applying those principles from within yourself, this is probably one of the best things that yesterday when we talk about this self retrograde, I mean, that just, you know, duh, you should have explained this before. Can I get a planet name after me? I think that uh, there's gotta be a something after UCC. We'll see. We can go after that. I mean, that we see what planet is in your chart, and maybe I'm gonna name that planet CC. Okay. Biggest the retrograde planets, as long as it's not Mercury. I love the guy, but come on, sometimes too much. And there, and the power of this retrograde, they're beautiful, guys. Every time one of the retrogrades comes in, we are evaluating something, but we're discovering something. And the discovering of this something leads you to success. But that is a mean you learning from your own failures. Is this self retrograde going to calm me down seriously? Need it? Actually, a lot of the people are struggling with the inner peace right now. And I'll tell you why. You haven't done the work from the last year. Last year, if you guys pay attention when we did all these videos, and I'm suggesting you to those who don't have the inner peace inside, there to look for it. CC, yeah, you might disagree because if you did the work, you would have been agree. I'm just kind of like giving you a feedback in there. I got why am I in the inner peace, CC? Why are you not in the inner peace? Question, right? Why for some people the inner peace is working and why for not? I stop the wars within myself. I not only preach, I do. And I know some quite a few people who also did that. They did work on this. They got in within this. Some people succeed, some people not. CC, maybe it's a man's thing. No, actually, it's not. No, it's actually a mentality. It's a mental process from within yourself to cut yourself and decide that you don't deserve the fights anymore. What are you fighting for? Some people always have to fight, always have to be within this fight, and they cannot survive with this fight. This fight is something within them that keeps them alive. And they think that when they have to be in those energies, they feel alive. And for it, uh, Cici, I feel attacked like I didn't did my work. No, that is how you feel from within you. I'm not attacking you. Actually, I'm here to help you, Cici. I know you've been growing a lot. I know you've been doing the work. I know you've been getting in there. But the question is here is why the people not in the inner peace? And I have some quite a few people who actually coming to me lately and they are not in the inner peace at all. They're all over within the war. Now, these wars, they could be a collective. You're picking up on the collective energies. Take a look at it within the collective. I told you guys, don't engage within the collective unless collective, someone from the collective come and talk to you. Period. The other thing about the inner peace is that you decided anymore not to have fights. And looking at within your fights is doing this retrograde. And CC, that is the best thing that you did about this. And I want to ask you, you to ask yourself why you're not in the inner peace. Because when you find out why you're not at the inner peace, you're gonna be coming in here. It's like I'm not in inner peace because something didn't happen here. I wanted to go forward, but I went down. Why did I went down? That mean I have to go back, see the other side of the issue, see the other side. Maybe stepping out of the other side of the person of the issue of the situations. You to look at the issue from the other side. And once you're looking at it from the other side, you have the complete picture from within yourself about this fight. And that fight is about you from within you. And when you get win these portions that you don't have to fight, but you have to go with the flow. So there is no fight. If there is no war, what is there? Inner peace. And that's how this inner peace is there. Okay, that's how that inner peace goes on. My question to you guys, it is about yes, there's gonna be some moments within this. There's gonna be moments that maybe you're like you're blowing your fuses like for a minute and then like what the heck I'm doing, dude. You don't need this. Chill out. Whatever is gonna happen is gonna happen. Okay, whatever it is one, whatever, wherever, wherever. Just don't worry about it. What do you need to worry about it? It is about your state. First of all, you look at your state and behavior. If your behavior is not resonate within the inner peace, then you have to look at your emotions. If your emotions doesn't resonate in there, what is your mental process? If the mental process is a problem, what is your psyche? If your psyche is your problem, what is your spirituality in there? Then you seek in the spirituality fixing your psyche goes down within you and all the way down to your behaviors. So, CC, I was so long in a perfect state, so close. Good. That's mean you've been tested, CC. And if you were tested within the inner peace, what do you think you failed? Maybe that's what you failed is actually telling you what you need to continue polished. You guys polishing your crystals, you know those crystals. Do you guys polishing them? Sometimes they to be nice and shiny and so on. And sometimes the crystals they're not that shiny, and you have to polish them. It's the same thing within you. You know, when the diamond it's good, it needs to be polished. You know, you polish it in there until it gets perfectly cut. You know, there's beautiful power in there. And that's how we are. If I was you, I can do this self retrograde process within me. And what did I fail to be achieving an inner peace? And this is going to be this process, CC. Okay. So here it is. Once you get in up here, you're getting tested. So you're getting tested of what you learn. And once you're getting in this point, here you are. You're coming back into a new lesson up here. And you go again in the retrograde and getting into each lesson within your life. So if I was you, I actually will be happy about this because this is actually the failure of you. It's going to be showing you the things that you did in there. And when you see a failure, you're like, oh, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to see. Those are the things that I have to look within inside of myself. So, yes, you're going to feel up, down, touch the ground, and so on and so on. But during through those processes, they're needed because during to those processes, I go myself too. You think I'm excluded out of this? I'm a perfect? Nope. But lately, I've been doing so much inner work, done it. Finally, done it, and I've done it only, but I perform it, which is that is a when you know you've done it in there. And talking about this inner peace within you guys, it is about healing. So you healing a wounds that makes you to go to war. You healing emotions. You healing things that creates those wars. And once you perform it completely different in the same situations, you know that you're healed. Let me tell you what happens when you're healed. You're making more room for love, which is that is the beauty. Okay, that is the beauty. That is the beauty within you. Elizabeth, I feel that way upstairs sometimes. Elizabeth, look at it in yourself, this. But if you look at it, the graph that I just show you up, uh, you know, these ups and downs, they are having a purpose in there. I mean, everyone wants to go to this curve of success. If you know, the curve of success is you begin, and all of a sudden it just takes off like this. Everyone wants that, okay? But in life is not like this. Yoda never seems bothered. Yoda was never seems bothered, yes. But Yoda was looking at inside of it, of his own failure. He could not foreseen who was Senator Palpatine in there. Why? He need to go ahead and focus on things in there. He could have feel that something was going on with Anakin. Somebody was manipulating Anakin in there, right? But Yoda was never bothered of things because he knew the Force knows what to do. Okay, you're talking about spiritual ego. you look at it more deeply within the Yoda character, especially as a master in there, at some point he was knowing too much. But at the same time, he had to evolve within himself, even though he was about, what, 500 years old and so on. But it's good that you mentioned this movie. It's good. This is how you have to look at it, the both sides of the road. Not only the positives now, but also the other side, the negative side. I have my own failures as well. Nobody's perfect. But that's mean that when you understand that you are imperfect, you're getting a perfect within yourself that you are imperfect. And that allows you the freedom and the inner peace inside of you to change, you to evolve. Do you and others get angry? I used to get a lot angry. I used to get a lot of situations. I used to be getting there. Some people get angry, but some people right now, some masculine energies there. I've been talking to some people. Guess what? They facing their anger and they're like, I'm not reacting to this anger. Man, I got it within me, but I'm not gonna be acting on that anger. That is the divine to contain itself and look at it of more wise perspective right now. For of course you can, I mean, every man, when things doesn't go, first of all, it's you can do that, okay? Otherwise, it's like you're not expressing something. But you to contain that, not to escalate. Now that is what we're talking about. A little by little, when you begin to work on yourself as a divine masculine energies, divine feminine energies in there, uh, you know, the very worst. The men's have anger, the females have what? Tantrums. You guys know what I'm talking about. For it, so you look at it, you thinking that right now when you begin to have this spiritual, I call it a, when you allowing the soul now to come in more within your mind, you actually begin to open up and developing what I call the spiritual intuitions within you that tells you that, hey, what are you thinking? So the fight that before, what are you doing? Now it's changing, like, what do you thinking? It is the next level. So actually it stops the thinking within you. So the soul it's interfere within your mind before you make this process of thought. Before it was like you're like getting it up and you're trying to do something. It's like, what are you doing? Right? And some of the people during this process they cannot contain themselves. Okay. But right now, when you look at it within spirituality, which is this very beautiful moment, is like, what are you thinking? Where does that come from? Is that yours? Is that some leftover from the old? You don't need this. There's something new right now. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be fixed somehow, some way, some situations, and so on in there. CC, the self retrograde is the self evaluations. Yes, deeply into the course within yourself, the core within your own inner self. Basically, that is the mirror challenge. I would say you to look yourself. How truthful you to yourself? How do you accept yourself? Do you accept yourself in the body, the heart, and the soul? Do you? Do you accept your imperfections inside of you? Once you accept the imperfections, they're not issues anymore. But that doesn't mean that you have to be acting out of uh, all the lower vibrations within yourself. Did you learn what happens when you acting from your lower self, from these energies in there? So yeah, Yeah. So Grande, Yoda knew that the energies were being manipulated, but also showed what the power of the divine is. Yes, exactly. He knew. He knew how the power of the divine was, the force, the mighty force within. But he was blinded. He was blinded. Who is can blind things? Yeah. Hey Matthew, hey brother, thank you for coming in. Glad to see you here. And if you guys have some, any inputs, anything to share, guys, for it, please do in there. I mean, the tests are coming. Your test time of this retrograde, okay? The test time of this retrograde is right in here. Once you go and you pass this timeline point right here, the moment that you turn retrograde, you go back to the issue where you actually fall down. You go back into the same time, to the same place. This is the moment when the planet is arriving at at the same positions that turns retrograde. And when the planet, when it goes back and then goes direct, she passing through the same place. At that moment, at that moment, when you getting into this, what we calling the after shadow period in there, okay, when you get into that point, then you begin to actually practice it, what you learn. So somehow you're going to be triggered, somehow you're going to be getting in there. And if you pass the test, you pass the test. Then the new lesson is coming, time pass by, you learning new lessons, new situations. Is that a tied up to the planets? I would say yes, because that's what the gravity is. The gravity is controlled in there, and depends of our personal chart. We are acting on those gravity. I mean, sometimes you like the energy, sometimes you don't like the energy. Sometimes you find that people are like woohoo, and you're like, I want to go down there in my hermit and hide somewhere at the zone, and I don't want to go anywhere. Why everybody's happy? I feel it all depends of how your reactions are, how that energy is affecting you. But looking at within this self retrograde process in there, for you evaluating things. Sissy, so Divine is telling me I didn't learn yet. No, actually, you learned. If you manage for this period of time, you to feel that inner peace, Sissy, okay, and you did everything, okay, but you're going to be tested. Let's say, for example, you learned all 100%, but you felt in the test 10% in there. You don't have to pay attention on those 10% with 100% of this. I will look the good things that I did. I will look at it and I will look at it those 90% and I'm going to say, good job, Dio. Pat yourself in the back. Because if it's nobody can recognize, you recognize yourself for the inner work that you do. Go buy yourself something. Go buy a cake or go treat yourself with a nice dinner. For some, that could be case of beer, 6-pack. However, or go buy some nice clothes or something. Go reward yourself because that's how you're gonna feel and be honest with yourself. But with this 10%, okay, don't fall down about this 10%. You have to be in a peace with this 10% that you fall. And when those 10% you get in, it's like, okay, that is an area of improvement. There is nothing I have to be freaking out, worry about, or be fighting about it. The only thing I have to do is educate myself. And when I know that I have to educate myself on this, I'm going to be keeping myself in peace. And now you're getting the peace. Even if something wasn't right, But if you are coming to me and you tell me I'm not in a peace, I will ask you, Sissy, why not? And for it. Feel so like huge setback, like a baby spiritual? No, you're actually not. You may be pushing yourself down. I don't see you like that much down, Cece. Okay? I don't. Personally, I'm just looking at the both sides of this. Some people think like this little issue is that big. Oh, I can carry this. Oh. Do you know why it looks so big? It looks so big because your focus is completely out of that. Is completely in there. This is like a here. What's going to happen is if this is a little problem, but you pay attention to this little problem, how big is going to be looking at to you and the camera when that problem comes in and you don't even see the you only see this little problem, but it's so huge for you. And this is how some people, that's how they are. And yes, exactly what you focus, that's what grows. And if you focus on the problem goes bigger. Why not focus on your blessings? Now that inner work of 90% that you did, and you're going to be okay with this little tiny 10% in there with you. Come on. You got to give you credit for the 90% you did. And if there is something, it's something. This is usually in a school when they give you, on the test, they give you A minus. And you're like, man, I wanted to have an A. I needed an A. Come on, you got an A. You passed the test. You're going to polish in that. If you're freaking out of no. And this is what it is important to look at those issues of this reset, those retrogrades. Okay, first of all, you have to look at it from within you. The beauty of it is when you look at with your partner. That is there is a priceless. Talking about healthy relationships. Today I posted on a Facebook healthy relationships for it. So Matthew, it grows because you literally zoom into it. Exactly. Some people are like this. And Matthew, thank you, my friend. I mean, my brother, thank you for coming to this. If you got so many input that you want to do with it, for it, it's okay. Hey, Arena, thank you for coming in. Can you guys share, please, what inner work help you? Well, the inner work has so much flavors. In there, the inner work that help is, first of all, the most important thing is self-awareness. You to be aware of your own BS. And you kind of like, well, that BS screwed up my life. Who has to fix that? Somebody else? No, it's me. Okay, let me see what my BS is. And this is why some of the people I'm asking them is, I did that before. If I have to do it, I'll do it again. Okay. Exercise number 1, what you need to do, how to do the inner work, guys. You wrote like this. What is my good and what is my bad? So here, you take a piece of paper, you write honestly to yourself what is your good traits and what is your bad in there. And you take this piece of paper, you fold it in there, and every time you fix this bad thing, You write it down in the good side. You transfer it over. Okay. Uh, hey, Paulina. Hi, darling. Uh, the other thing that I'm talking about is this. I was talking about in the previous videos, this, and I give it to some of you. This is what, there you go. This is what this curve looks like. From this point, you were wounded up here, and everything went the wrong way. Now you do a self-evaluations of whatever the issue, the problem is. You go back into this point, you fix everything, but since you already walked through this path right here, you recognize what this path is up here that you need to walk, and you arrive to this point of now. So that is the other exercise that I'm kind of like giving you to you guys to do it. Hi everyone, love and peace. Perfection doesn't exist. There is no 100%. I agree. We need to acknowledge ourselves for our inner work. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you. Matthew, for me, it took failure and pain for the first to eliminate where I was out of balance. Then I took zooming out to see the bigger picture, to see it. I was out of balance. Yep, I was out of balance. I was out of balance because of codependency. I was out of balance because of couldn't maintain so much energies, couldn't contain so much knowledge. Now it's much better. Now it's totally. I'm able to contain it. I'm able to be peaceful, and I'm able to do things completely a different point of understanding, cooperations, but also first within myself, 10 out there with everybody else in there. And this is what was out of balance. Now, when I'm balancing myself, this energies and understandings between what is masculine, what is feminine, they are put in an order. I don't, when there is an issue, I'm like, okay, it's an issue. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. But this inner peace does something amazing. If you got this 90% and you don't accept the 10%, there is no perfection. But if you accept the 90% and the 10% at the same time, you're accepting the perfections that you did and the imperfections that you need to work on it. That inner peace and the balance exists within you. And this is what I've been really done, practice it, and work within me to do that. Paulina, but I also want to appreciate the storms as they are really nice to show the area of growth. Exactly. You have to appreciate those storms. And thank you for that comment, darling. And Matthew, finally, once I zoom out, I saw the discord, and there was actually harmony as a higher self becomes self-aware as a result. Amen. Amen, brother. I know that a lot of the divine masculine energies, that's what they do right now. The people working, the masculine energies are working on themselves. And I see some of the people are really rising up to that level of the divine. And Matthew, I'm glad that you are sharing this here with us. You are that example for this. And my heart goes with you. Grande, it's not easy journey, but an educational like consciousness journey. Exactly. The journey of wisdom. Yes. Matthew, Irina News, like Paulina said, appreciate the difficulty because it's a vital and necessary. Difficult is an indicator for signaling it's time to grow. Exactly. It's time to grow. There's gonna be at some point in your journey that you're like, what the heck I'm doing? If I know I'm not growing, then what I'm doing, I'm preventing myself to grow. Is that is a benefits me? Is I'm gonna be keep repeating the same thing over and over, and as I'm gonna be feel pity for myself. I'm gonna put myself down, or I'm gonna be keeping doing all this. Then you decide to go ahead and rise up, and that rising up, that rebirth, you actually burning yourself into ashes, and you rise up as the phoenix bird. This is also a part of this retrograde rebirth. Rebirth, rebirth. If you put birth and birth, let's get some stuff in there that goes on. For Grande, thank you for the namaste and the love. Finding inner peace and not search for anyone is not easy task. Well, codependency is you searching for someone, but that someone is searching for is you. And when you find out you within yourself, you become your true self. First of all, you're true to you. And let me tell you, when you're true to yourself, you're not worried about what the other people think. One of the worst things that you may gonna encounter is when you're true to yourself and other people asking you what the heck, why you are so true to yourself, why you telling all this truth. They're not used to it. People are used to it to hide. People are used to it to pretend. People are used to it to our face masks. They're not used to it to the good. You're the difference. You're changing yourself is the difference. You're the example of this world. And that example it's passing on. And now the goodness from within you, it spreads to the people. You recognize when someone is not truth. Your ego is protecting you now. You recognize the thing within you and everybody. But guess what? You not judge them anymore. But you become wise how to deal with it. You don't go out there and being angry as a feminine energies. You put your feet in there. It's like, you know what? Give me my toys. I'm not gonna play with you. Being a childish, and here you go. Sounds like a runner. The runner who is not happy of their masculine energies that doesn't satisfy their needs. Come on, it's the same thing. Think is coming in good when you decide that no more running and chasing, but you have true within you with the true relationship within you and true relationship with others. Then the things are really interesting because now you actually begin to live from your true self. That is a beauty. And I wish all of you to get into there. All of you. But don't search for a person, for anyone. Search for you. The quest is about you. You to find you, your higher self. And then when you find your higher self, the divine match you with the higher self of somebody. Surprise? Your surprise is when you get to the divine. That's your reward. So you gotta be thankful to the divine, guys. You gotta be thankful to you. You gotta be thankful to the partners and so on. But you gotta be thankful to divine orchestrating all this. There's gonna be this part of you that retrogrades within yourself. But this bliss and love they give us to experience, it's priceless. It's priceless. Yep. Mora, hi. Thank you for coming in there. Grande, God is everything. God is everywhere. God is in us. God is within you and me. He's everywhere. Exactly. He knows what's going on. Can you hide things from God? We can't. Only the manipulators, the things who thinks that they can hide from God, and they think they what they did in the shadow. God knows. God created the light and the shadow. You think He doesn't know all that? He does. Only the egoistic minds thinks that they can hide. And Andrea, hi, how are you? Truth is beautiful. Actually, the truth is beautiful. We're talking about this truth. Without the truth, once you find out the truth about things inside of you, you know how to deal, how to evaluate, how to upgrade. You get in downloads, you get in a help, maybe watching videos, you may be talking to people, you may be reading books. Divine knows how to put things in front of you just to get in there. They know when, how, and exactly at what time they can give you signs. And when you do it, all of a sudden it just happens. A miracle. Who was the miracle, first of all? You. You understood, you upgraded yourself. That is not your, I mean, you have to put this 10% within yourself, work, and cooperate with the 90% of the energies out there. Okay? You represent this 10% quality out there. The rest of it is the field, it's the energies in there. But you did what you had to do. Why? Because you already got this 90% knocked out. You're working within the 10%. You all feel how this is correlated in there? And what can I say? It is what it is. Yes. So, if you guys have so many idea for topics, any questions, now is the time you guys can ask about it and so on. And if not, we can go ahead and close these sessions out in there. To remind you again is that processes of the retrogrades, they are very beautiful. They're very beautiful, but the process, as a think it to a CC about this, talking about self retrograde in there. This is some process that actually needs to be very, very powerful. Uh, so, uh, for it. Irina, you said in our lesson, don't look for person who only look for the heart. It is really truth. Can you be with someone who seems ugly for you? Oh, Irina, let me tell you this. We talk about that sessions where we're talking about with you in there. People who represents their heart like beautiful and so on, but then turns out to be an ugly. What this is. First of all, you look in the people, the person's spirit, then they open up their heart. If you're looking at the shell, the body, okay, talking about masculine perspective, you know, well, most of the masculines, they're looking for this perfections of Lilith. Okay, that everything has to be pretty and so on and so on. While the divine masculines, they're looking for someone who to be pretty for their soul within there, to find their peace within the soul with their feminine energy. And that feminine energies to inspire them to reach more up into God. So if you're still looking for a person and you judging a person by ugly, here in Bulgaria, I call them, those are the boys with the BMWs. People looking for it. Just because you have a car, just because you are nicely clothed, just because you are with the white shirt and those skinny jeans to so shows up how muscular you are and so on and so on, it doesn't mean nothing. It's just a shell. Your actions, they are based out of your soul choosing your truth. Right? So this is what it is. Okay, it all depends of your perspective how you see ugly, because the ugly duckling, it turns to a swan. But if you look at it, the ugly duckling for you is always going to be ugly. But if you see inside of it and you wait it to grow, you're going to find your prince. You're going to find the beast, because nobody likes the beast, but the beauty finds the beast, right? The princess kisses the frog, right? Is the frog ugly? Lessons in there. So many lessons that we should have learned as a kids. But guess what? We don't learn them as a kids. What about learning them as an adults in life? Too late? No, it's never too late. It's always in time, divine time. Browser Flowers, thank you for commenting first of all. And are the divine masculine scared of the DFs? The divine masculine, I don't want to say this, scared. They just don't want to deal with toxic feminine energies. They just had enough. They, both sides, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, they don't want to talk with toxicity. They had enough of this. Some of the people are actually moved and removed. They're done with toxicity. They're done with the toxic relationships. They're actually done with twin flame situations. They are just pulled up. They are picked up out of it. Go up. Go be divine. Go over there. Go getting into this in there. Okay, you're getting up. And right now, this fear right there, because it doesn't deserve to be with someone who you're going to be living with in fear. Why? Fear of losing them? Let me tell you about the fear of losing, how you overcome it in there. You will know that if it is divine order, you're never going to lose them. You give it up to God. And God brings them back, always, within themselves. You value that energy between you, them, and God. And that's how God testing your faith within the divine. Because you can choose to be angry at your partner. You can choose to pick up the phone and send the nasty messages, and you block. But divine masculine doesn't do that. The divine masculine is, no, I got it. It's all good. I'm in peace because I know what it is. And this how you heal your codependency. The divine feminine, they know the same thing. And if you were talking about this running for it, if you're still running, if you're still going in there, you're still not divine, because you're running from the truth there. Faith in the divine, exactly. There is no perfections, there is no imperfections. Grande, thank you. Paulina, gift from divine comes from different packaging. Least expected, sometimes in the dirty boxes with holes and scratches from the past. True gifts is inside when you open the box. Maybe I love you, thank you. Exactly. When you arrive to this point, you open the box, and when the boxes are opened and the divine is there, and it's like, here is your bliss, guys. You know that divine bliss that God gives with the inner peace. This is when you receive to open the box because you love with your spirit, with your soul there, with God sitting next to you. That's when the divine union is coming. That's what the divine connections are about it. Do you worry about what the shell is? Why do you think the twin flames have an age gap? Why they're different bodies? Why they have things what it is? So they can show up to the world that in the soul and spirit there is no difference. And they know how they feel within soul and spirit, not the physical appearance, guys. Paulina, thank you. Well, the fear and the doubt are affecting the energies. Exactly, Grande. I mean, if you have a fear, there is no love. If you have a doubt, guess what? There is a duality in there. Uh, four. So, in there. Grande, how do I develop energy on PayPal? You go to the YouTube channel and the top about, and if you want to develop energy into PayPal, is there. There is a link, Grande. But we're talking about that. It's important that once you win those battles, don't hide them inside of you. Be the example. Examples of what changed the world. And that's what you're here as a twin flame. That's what you hear as a partner. That's what you're in disconnections with uh, within this. Exactly in there. Grande, give me a second. I will give it to you. There you go. That will make it easy. And this is how you're going to be very appreciative to the divine. And divine appreciates you. When the divine sends you this beautiful bliss within the soul and the peace inside of you. But if you have a war within yourself, you're not catching those energies. You have to do this retrograde within yourself. You have to do all these energies inside of it to see why you're in the war. And then you stop the wars within yourself. You begin within that inner peace. That inner peace leads you to the divine. You're getting the connections within the divine, and then the divine does things for you. Okay, this is like that. Let's take care of you. Mom is take care of you. God, mother, father, God, they take care of you. The feminine, masculine energies, they take care of you. And you have no worries. Hakuna Matata. Means no worries till the rest of your days. It's a problem-free philosophy. Just don't take Pumbaa as an example. Okay? Having fun here. Oh boy. Guys, thank you so much for coming in today. Tomorrow I'm going to be looking at to see what we're going to be talking about it in there. We'll look at it for some other things, the energies. I'm trying to get the energies match up with what is going on and through the talks with other people in there. But stay tuned. Stay tuned within your energies. Some of your energies, they're not yours. They're collective energies. The collective are fighting right now. Masculine are fighting within themselves, but they're also fighting with others. Feminines are fighting for things, but they're also fighting from within themselves. Try to go ahead and provide this beautiful, divine environment. This is going to be the most growth. You, as a feminine, provide that safety growth of the masculine to be a vulnerable. You, as a masculine, you provide this safety net for the feminine. It's like, hey, I got your worries. I got your things. I got your imperfections. You can tell me everything. We can share everything. This is why I do for you because I love you. Boom. That's the growth. That is why right now we have Mars and Venus there in Leo going into this 5-year-old age when you learn to grow. That is the most beautiful year. But if you're not learning it right, then you have to learn it within life in there. This is the fifth house. The fifth house in the astrology is the kids grow up. Usually there, the fifth house, it shows how many kids are you got here. Just be innocent kids. Be love. Be within your inner peace, guys. And this is what I'm leaving you guys. All right? A little bit of energy will give you. Be love, guys. Let's share the love and the light, and I'll see you tomorrow. Exactly, Arena. Example of the world. We need to be first happy by ourselves. Exactly. Be happy.